What you are about to see is a very secret, very personal behind-the-scenes look at a former YouTuber's life. What you see on camera is often not what you see in reality. This is my reality. I quickly realized that I was in dire need of help. And over the years, I realized you guys have been there with me every step of the way, praying for me and helping me. In a weird time loop paradox, even though you haven't seen me yet, you've already been helping me. So I thank you for that. Please share these videos with your friends, click like, leave a comment. I don't know if I will be here to read your comments. At the end of the day, I don't know how much time I have. And also, please respect my privacy, because it is a life or death matter at this point. Yeah, it's like almost 12 o'clock at night. So when I was over at Derek's house, it's the same old, he's trying to be manipulative and make me feel bad for him, and he's like, well, I'm putting all this effort in and you're not doing anything, blah blah blah. I'm the one that's always asking us to go out. I'm the one that's always suggesting to do this and that, and I'm just like, yeah, I've been gone for 3 weeks and you literally asked me a week ahead of time for a lot of this stuff, so never give me any time to ask you to do anything, besides the fact that most of the stuff I always used to ask you if you wanted to do, you said was done. So it's like, I don't know even what to ask you because you don't like anything I suggest. So he was getting mad and accusing me of, then he said something like, well, you're not giving me enough love and I need love, and I don't feel like you love me and I need to feel like I'm loved. And I'm just like, bullshit, that's not how it works. It's just a lot of dumb stuff like that that's like not productive, not conducive to solving any issues. It's just like accusing. And I just want, like, dude, I don't want anything to do with you if this is how you're gonna be. I mean, you're supposed to be drawing me back in and like starting from scratch. And he's gonna say, screw it, I'm gonna go find somebody else. And I don't mean like X, Y, and Z as far as like being nice. It's X, Y, and Z as far as like, I have to shower him with affection and I have to throw myself on him and demand that we make love right now, because that's what he sees as love. It just really made me upset. So I didn't get my video done like I was trying to, because I was stuck at his house all afternoon. I would have gotten that video done, I would have made some money. And I came home and opened my phone and, oh, look, there's 100 people posting about this stupid YouTube convention that I didn't get invited to and that nobody told me about. Oh, and also YouTube themselves is posting about it now too. Thank you. Thank you that the girl that's representing this group of YouTubers is not me. And I'm the one who's been like at the top for like the last 2 years. But that's fine. I'm nobody now. I'm nothing. And I will also point out that those girls that I reached out to them. Don't even care. They have not once stopped in to check, hey, how are you doing? Hey, how are things going? Nobody has. Nobody cares. Nobody's ever tried to strike up a conversation with me, despite the fact that I have with them multiple times. And all I ever do is be nice to people. What does being nice even get you anymore? Nothing. I invited them all last year to meet and greet at the convention. I said, hey, you know, we can all get a room together, we can do blah, 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 blah. You guys should go. Does anybody do that for me? No.
this really makes me wonder, like, why am I even on this world? None of my friends care enough about me to check on me. I don't have any friends. Nobody wants to be my friend. Like, literally, that's how it's been the entire time growing up. Nobody's ever wanted to be my friend, and I don't get it. I've always been so nice to people. And you won't even talk to me. You throw me away like some worthless thing, like everybody else has. And yet I can't cry about it, because I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Because every time I open the Bible, that's what I read. Because I know that God has a plan for me. Because of the sign He gave me. She believed she could, so she did. And then today, I was reminded of the story of the ugly duckling. Which, if you do not remember, let me tell you a synopsis of it. There was an egg that hatched amongst other eggs, and the little chick that popped out of it did not look like the other little chicks. The other little chicks around it were brown and striped and had orange beaks. But yet this one little chick was white. Actually, it was gray. It was gray. And it had a black beak. And it had black feet. And the other ducks looked at it and said, "Ooh, you're an ugly looking duckling. Where did you come from? What awful hole did you crawl out of? Maybe Mom must have eaten something bad when she pooped you out her butt." And as the ducks grew older, they started growing their feathers in. Beautiful brown, shiny feathers with little bits of blue in them, speckled here and there, and bright orange feet. But yet the other little duckling, the ugly one, started growing in white feathers all over. And his feet were black, and his beak was black. And the other ducklings were like, "Oh, you go hide in the back. We don't want to play with you. You're not a nice looking duckling." Well, obviously the duckling was not a duckling, but a swan. And one day he grew up and he looked out at the big wide river, and he realized that there were others out there that looked just like him. And while the ducklings all considered him to be ugly, he realized that he was in fact beautiful. More beautiful than the ducklings. And he flew away from the ducklings and went to join the swans. And they welcomed him with open wings, because he was a swan and not a duckling. And so that story came into my head today as I realized that I am not a duckling, I am a swan. And there are all these ducklings that think they're amazing and think they're great, and looking at me and staring at me saying, "Ooh, what are you?" I am not a duckling, I'm a swan. And I'm beautiful. And I am different than ducklings. I have my own unique abilities, and some might say I am better. But in fact, I'm just another bird. I'm not better, but just another bird. Another bird that's a little bit more respected than the ducklings. So, even though I really desperately want to be depressed, maybe slit my throat, and just be done with it all, I can't. Because I know that I'm not a duckling, I'm a swan. And I have to strengthen my wings so that I can fly away. I will continue to swim with the ducklings. I will continue to share the river with the ducklings. But I am not a duckling. I am a swan, and I always will be a swan. And someday, when I fly away, they will realize how wrongly they treated me. I wish I could say that there's better guys out there, but honestly, I don't think there are. I think they're all just assholes. And that's fine, because I can be perfectly happy on my own. I don't need a guy to give me attention. I don't need a guy to tell me I'm beautiful. I don't need a guy to give me worth. Because I get all that from God anyway. So I will give you 1 week to respond back. If you do not respond back in 1 week, I will be forced to block you off my phone. And unfortunately, this whole video series will end very ugly. I don't know why God moved me out here. I may never know.